Let's talk about a huge game tonight, guys. Arsenal against Liverpool at the Emirates. And from a transfer point of view, Ash, the position that Arsenal are in, we mentioned that the summer window was so brilliant for them, and it's set them up now where actually we're not talking about people coming in, we're not talking about people going out, apart from potentially someone like One Area on loan. What a great spot to be in for Arteta. Yeah. Is that the thing to do? Just not change anything because it's working?
Oh, but that's what ideally I think every manager would like to be when they start in the pre-season or even before that. They want to get to January and be in a position where they go, I'm happy with what I've got. Obviously injuries dictate a little bit to that, but for Mikel Arteta, he's probably just sitting at home, especially last night. He's like, everything's going to plan. The Arsenal fans are happy that they look brilliant. They've got strength in depth. The teams around them aren't winning. So it's a perfect position for them to be in. But we do know that football can change very quickly.
Yeah. I know you said they got strength in depth, Ash, and this man here, they've pretty much got cover for every single position. And they did well recently when he was out. But how important is he?
Yeah, he's massively important. I think we know the quality that he's got. We know that how the team, with him in the team, they're better. But I do think that the signing, which I haven't spoken about it a lot, is of Zubimendi, was a really clever signing. He's a really good player. So actually now, even if he's not playing, they're still kind of strong in there. All Arsenal fans and Mikel Arteta would prefer with Declan Rice in the team. But let's just say he's not in the team for a game. They can go without. It's not a case of well, what are we going to do without? We can just bring in somebody else. I don't know if you're going to ask, but who starts for Arsenal tonight? Does it matter? Even they've got that many good players. They can change positions, rest people, and they don't drop in strength.
And it certainly matters in terms of them getting the 3 points, which would take them 8 points ahead of Manchester City. Same games played, 21. We always talk about unique opportunities, don't we, in the window, and this seems to be the scenario with Mikel Arteta. They would only act if something incredible turned up. But as a player, if you're in that situation, you don't want to disrupt. You don't want to be told that actually, hold on, you're not doing what we want you to do. You're top of the league, the unbeaten run is there. You can't see Arsenal going for something unless it's crazy, right? And what would that be, Ash? What
nothing. You could throw a name out there, one of the best players in the world right now, and then the next question is, do they need him? And does it upset the way that they're going? Because they are just looking like a machine at the minute. They're so dominant in games. We've seen the last 2 games. They're so dominant. They all know their roles. You bring someone in January, he doesn't actually know what the manager wants, and maybe it upsets it a little bit. So for them, they're just settled and they're just getting off in that, be happy with what they've got.
I think Mikel Arteta might have the problem the other way, because at the moment Eberici Eze can't get into the team. Kai Havertz is back, we believe, from a long injury. Gabriel Jesus is back as well. They got Victor Gyökeres. So they've got 3 striking options there. I'm not sure that Mikel Arteta will really. I think he's already talked about having to keep everybody happy and having to keep the squad happy. He's managed to do that so far. We've sort of heard no rumblings whatsoever of kind of unhappy players, but I think he's got a perfect squad right now. They're ticking, so I think in terms of the window, I can see it being really quiet.
What about from a Liverpool point of view? Because given the mess that they were in only a matter of 6-7 weeks ago, in terms of where they were in the table as well after that losing run, they would take Champions League football right now, but the race for those places is going to be intense, Ash. We don't know what's going to happen with Mohamed Salah when he returns from AFCON. He's been banging in goals for Egypt. The left side's an area that's been mentioned as well. Would you do anything if you were in charge of the Liverpool recruitment team?
Weirdly similar to Arsenal. I think that they've kind of turned the corner a little bit, but we've seen that in the results and the points that they've picked up from where they were before, being in here and talking and saying, I just don't know where they go from. I don't know where Arne Slot goes from this. So they got going. So again, if something incredible popped up on the radar of Arne Slot and he liked it, I think he'd go for it. But right now, they're thinking, let's keep what we've got. We're starting to gain momentum and go in the right direction, and let's just go with that.
Are you surprised Arsenal and more so Liverpool didn't get involved in the Semenyo conversation?
Yeah, especially Liverpool. I think that he would have fitted in really well at Liverpool. I don't know what their thoughts were on it. I thought, Arsenal have got that much, like you just said. That's probably one too many, although I think that he's of that quality to go into the Arsenal team. But I think every other team would take that Antoine Semenyo. So I'm really surprised Liverpool didn't show in. I don't know if they showed interest, but they didn't put themselves in a stronger position to get him.
Well, they've shown before, haven't they, Chris, when they want a player ahead of Manchester City, they can get him. Florian Wirtz, he met with the City officials and chose Anfield.
Yeah, look, it's a really interesting one because we know that Semenyo has been a long-term target of Liverpool, many other clubs as well, Manchester United, Spurs, Arsenal. We know he was on the radar as well. But that seemed like I really thought that was a potential for him to go there. I thought he would style of football. I thought he'd have been a really good fit there. He scored those goals earlier on the season there. It looked great. And Gay as well. We could have a window where both those targets that we've nailed on, I thought, for Liverpool could go to Manchester City, and what a story that would be.
So this is obviously the day before big game against Liverpool. What's your pre-match? What have you done so far? What did you do last night to relax? Are you a worrier before a game?
Nah, not really. To be fair, as I've got older, I've chilled out a lot more in terms of how I prepare for games. I think this morning just got in now, had a shower, and then just literally got ready, come and met you, I have breakfast after, and then it all starts then. We have meetings, preparation, like indoor stuff to do to prep the team, and then obviously training outside. So yeah, loads of stuff going on.
What about last night? Relaxing?
Last night, chill.
Did you watch West Ham?
Yeah, I watched the games. I love watching the football. So
well, we spoke to you on Saturday, didn't we? Was it Saturday after the game? Obviously you scored 2 great goals.
Yeah.
And I said to you, are you going to watch Man City? And you were like, I don't know. I don't know if I will watch it.
I didn't watch.
Didn't you? I find that amazing.
No, I didn't watch.
Really? And how good, when Arsenal got that, when Chelsea equalised, you must have thought...
I said, you know what it is, over the years, I've spoken to a few of the boys about it upstairs, loads of the boys don't watch it. It's like, because sometimes you watch something expecting a result and it don't happen, and you end up just getting in that's why I say we just got to relax and let ourselves do the talking and just keep winning our own games. There's no point getting fixated on what other teams are going to do, because if they win a game, they win a game. Like, that's football. So.
And you say relax. Is that something maybe a couple of years ago when you were in this position? Was it like so intense? Everything, like what are they doing, what we doing? They've got to make sure we're ready for everything. Is it feel a bit more relaxed this year?
Yeah, I think we're better. We're probably more well prepared this year. I would say you can just sense the lads, the experience, the players that we've brought in the summer. I think you can sense that we know we've got a really good squad. We've got a really good team of players. There's also that hunger now. It's like look, there's still such a long way to go, but I think in football you want to achieve the best things now, and you want to do well in your career. And there's a sense of, with this squad, what we want to achieve, and we believe we can do it. So it's just we've got to keep going.
I think that makes a bit of sense, because sometimes you can go, well, I don't want to talk about it, we're taking each game as it comes. I tried to do that at Liverpool, I never won the title. Sometimes embracing it and going, you know what, we can win it, we've got a great squad, why shouldn't we be thinking that? You know, there's nothing wrong with that.
Oh yeah, 100%. I think loads of the boys have spoken openly about it before. It's like, you only get one career, why not just give it everything you've got? You know what I mean? We're in this position, it's 18 games to go, let's just keep firing and keep playing well and keep, winning every game we can, because that's all we can do. And one day you'll look back on these times, it sounds cliche, but you will. And you'll look back on them and think, oh, could I have done this different? Could I have done that? And now's the time to give it everything, because like I said, you're never going to get this time back. So
embrace it and enjoy it. Well, let's go in. I want to have a chat with you about your goals, how you're playing. It feels like you're in the form of your life right now. You look like you're really enjoying your football.
Yeah, I'm loving it, to be fair. It's just something about it, where it just feels like something's clicking.
Dec, thank you, mate. It's nice to see you. I want to take you back to the weekend. 2 goals, great performance individually, man of the match. You're really enjoying your football right now.
Yeah, I'm loving it. Trying to take every game as it comes, but obviously when I'm going on the pitch, I'm full of confidence at the minute, full of energy. When you've just got that, like, spring in your step in football, it's just like where you feel like everything you're doing, you just feel so confident in your game. I think I've got that at the minute. I think after a little bit of a slow start at the start of the season, started to pick up fitness, pick up form, and I've maintained that level, which has been really good for me.
Where's that come from, do you think? What is that, something that you've done yourself? Has that been the manager, or something you looked at, or just trying to improve?
Start of the season, manager pushed me a lot. I think after 2 games, I was in his office, he pulled me in, he weren't happy about a few things.
Like what?
There was a few clips just of things that I weren't doing right, and the things that, like, just things that are basics in terms of like running and tracking your men and with the ball positional wise, that he wasn't too happy with. And like I said at the start of the season, I realised myself I probably wasn't at my best level. This was 2-3 games in, but obviously you've got a full season to go, so I wasn't too worried, and I knew I'd pick it back up. But after that, the good thing is with this manager, he knows when to put the knife in me a little bit, just to give me a nudge, and he knows that
carrot and the stick.
He knows that will get the best out of me. because I love to listen, I love to take it all in, and I don't see that as a bad thing that he's told me that. So when he said that to me, I obviously said to myself, right, I do need to up it here. And obviously since then, I've just gone on, and obviously just the games are coming so thick and fast, so I'm just trying to keep playing consistently well.
I think the way you're talking about yourself is absolutely right. I don't think we embrace how well, when we're doing well, we should enjoy it, because football, as we know, is not always easy. You can't just switch it on and off. But I've got some stats that back up what you're saying. This season, 85 touches. Previous 2 seasons, you've had 70 touches on average. Passes forward, 16.3 this season, 12 last season, 12.5. Line breaking passes, 7.8, 6.2. Progressive carries, 10.9, 8.6. Chances created, which is obviously one that you want to be looking at all the time, I'm sure, 1.8 this season to 1.6 per game. Passes into the opposition box, nearly doubled, 8.2 for 4.5 last season. That pretty much tells you everything. You know, we've got great stats guys at Sky. This isn't me just gone and thought I'll write these up. But that must make you feel good, and that's obviously proof in the pudding.
Yeah, definitely. And I think every season you need to think, I think to myself, how can you level up again, you know? Like, how can you go again and show, you know, why Arsenal brought you in, why you want to be amongst all of these other names. And
did you ever doubt it then, a little bit?
Nah, I didn't doubt it, but it was just that, you know, you have to prove yourself, you know, and also you're at a club where it's fierce competition, you know, nothing's ever guaranteed, and you need to be able to be on it every single day and every week to justify your play. So I think them stats are good, because the manager, not only to me but to everyone, has banged on, you know, about more threat, more risk, you know, creating more chances for the attackers, getting the ball into the front line as quick as possible. And them stats are obviously good to hear, because you want to have good stats, you know.
Yeah,
you want
now we are stats based. Everything's data driven. And you got 2. You said it yourself on TV the weekend. You scored 2 before. You scored another 2 the weekend. Do you feel like you might even go on a run now with grabbing more goals?
Yeah, it's crazy, because obviously I hadn't scored for a while. I'd only had 2 before that in the league, and then obviously another 2 took me to 4. But it gives you that. I can't explain. You must have had it before, where you scored and you think, you know what, I might score again in the next game.
When you're not scoring, you think, where's the next one going to come from?
And I've for the last few days since the 2 goals, I've got that scoring feeling back again. Even in training yesterday, I bagged the cup. I was thinking, I'm going to go on and run it.
Because I've got to be honest, I text you after the free kicks against Real Madrid. I've not seen one since.
Yeah.
I mean, they are.
I don't think we've had one.
But mate, I watched those games and thought, because I knew you've always been a great striker. I've seen you play since you were 13, 14 years of age, but that was just amazing. And so you only like scoring goals in 2s, I think. That's the problem, see, Jack. You know.
No, you ain't wrong. Them goals, obviously, I don't think they'll ever be topped in my career.
No, in terms of quality. But the ones at weekend end up being as important.
For sure. I think the importance of the goals, chipping in, and the value of, not underestimating the value of chipping in, like being a midfielder and scoring 2 is rare, you know, especially in a game like that. We was 1-0 down, Bournemouth, really good side, tough, hard. The manager's amazing, the way they press, the way they run. So to go there and win, after not the best first half performance, but second half much improved, it was massive. And where you can chip in and help the team, I think it's massive.
Exactly. 6 points clear. Carabao Cup semi-final to come. Champions League, you're top of that group as well. Could things be any better?
No. I think you've got to, like you said to me earlier, you've just got to embrace it. I think we're in the position we're in because, you know, we have amazing players, we have an incredible manager, we have a team that are fully buying into what the manager wants, and we're going out on the pitch at the minute and things are falling into place. And in football, when you've got that feeling, you know, there's no better feeling than winning football matches. You know, it can either make your weekend or break your weekend. You can either go home and you're deflated, or you go home and, you know, you're buzzing. And that's what this training ground's been since the start of the season. You know, there's been a real good vibe, real good energy around the place. And
new signings added a lot to that?
Yeah, definitely. I think if you look at what you just said then, top of the Champions League, top of the Prem, Carabao Cup semi-final, usually when you bring in 7 or 8, it's hard to embed them all in at once. But I think we've done so well as a group, with the manager, everyone, just pulling together and making them feel as comfortable as possible, as quickly as possible. And yeah, they're all doing really well for us.
It feels like you've got a good relationship with Zubimendi as well. You two, in terms of passing the ball to each other, you've got a good understanding. Has he helped free you up as well? 'Cause it looks like you've got that freedom to just drop into players as a 6, but also if you want to go into an 8 and arrive in the box and help the forward line, you can as well.
Yeah. Well, I watched a lot of him before he even signed for us, and the type of player he is how he plays for Spain, as one of the best in the world. In front of the back four, the brain is just, the way his brain works is just ridiculous. Takes the ball in the half turn, 1 and 2 touch, left foot, right foot, and when I was watching him...
Well, you played against him in the final.
Yeah, he come on, he was amazing in the final.
Because Rodri came off, we thought, God, this is a result, but this little rascal came on and we couldn't get, we struggled to get near him, didn't we?
So good, he's so good, and he's like that even in training. But when I was watching him, I was thinking, when I knew he was coming in, I knew it would kind of help me, free me up a little bit, just because he's always there. And as a midfielder, you know, you want to have that confidence and belief in your partner that even if he goes, you see his goal against Villa, he was in the box, and then the other holding midfielder was waiting. So we've got that natural understanding, and I think the manager's always banging on about to us too about playing close together, having like close relationship on the pitch in terms of passing distances and being able to pass the ball to each other at every given opportunity. So I've loved playing with him. He's been amazing, and
it seems like he's taken your game. Well, when people talk about you, Dec, to like now, well, everyone's always talked about you as a top Premier League player, but now people are talking about you being one of the best midfield players in the world, Ballon d'Or. I know you're smiling, no, but genuinely, these are people. This is what people that understand the game. It's not just making it up. It makes you smile, but I think that's probably because you're so humble about it.
I know. Well, I'm just Dec from Kingston, innit?
No.
You know what I mean?
Listen, you're doing L'Oreal adverts now. Don't be giving it like I'm the shy guy. You know, I'm trying to nick my ads. Be careful, mate. I was in for that one as well.
You know what it is? It's like they're the right conversations to be in. I think you want to be in them conversations for sure. You see Arsenal fans, I think that they just really appreciate what I'm doing for them in a minute. And it was West Ham fans a few years ago when I was playing for them, they were singing my praises. And like I said, when you're being compared to the best players in the world, obviously it's nice and shows that you are doing something right. So yeah, long may that continue. Like I said, you want to be in them conversations, and it shows that you're playing well. And I think that's why you play football. You want to play at the highest level.
I played against, obviously you. I've not been in the sanctum of the dressing rooms and everything, but I remember playing against Petit and Vieira many years ago, and they were, alongside Keane and Scholes, the best. They were just so perfectly balanced. And just talking about you and Zubamendi, do you feel personally imagine if you were to win the title, and then you can certainly people will be talking about these two are our Petit and Vieira. Does it almost give you that feeling that that's what you want? Because that's the next step, just to win a title, and that's when you start to get mentioned in the same breath.
Yeah, definitely. I think we all know that as a group. I think it's been 22 years since Arsenal won a Premier League. We know the stature of it. We know what it means to everyone here. And we know it's the hardest competition to win. It's 38 games. It's so tough. Every week you've got to be bang on it. So to be able to do that, if we can do that, would obviously be a dream come true. And not only for me and Zubi, but for the whole team, it would put us in a different bracket at this club, which would obviously be incredible. But there's still a long way to go. 18 games, we're going to give it everything we've got. And like I said, it's all about the confidence and the belief, and we fully have that.
After Liverpool, you got Carabao Cup. I said the weekend, I don't know if it's something to you that would make sense or not, that just that first one of the Carabao Cup, getting a trophy across the line might just calm everything down and give you that bit of. But I always think Jose Mourinho was a master at identifying that trophy, and obviously Pep's made it a big one for them.
Massive.
Is that because it also keeps everyone involved in the squad as well?
Massive. You see last year when the Liverpool-Newcastle final, what it meant to both of them teams to try and win that. I remember speaking to Sterling last year when he was here, and he said that one, City obviously won 4 in a row of them, 5 in a row, and he said that was the one where in February you have that final, you win that, and that kick-starts you a bit of momentum, And obviously if you can get to a final, obviously Chelsea a great team, new manager, so it's going to be a good test. But if you can get to that final, and if you can go on to win that, definitely puts you in a really good place. And obviously it's a trophy at the end of the day. You want to keep winning these prestigious English trophies, so it's really good.
In terms of the players here, Dec, who's your best mate? Or you just one of those guys just likes to be with everybody?
I'm one of them. I'm with everybody. I don't have one specific best friend, but I'll mix with everyone, and I think that's important. I'm good with everyone.
You're 26, Dec. I couldn't believe it. I mean, you've still got many years ahead as well.
It feels like I've been around years. I've played so many games in the Prem now. It's crazy, but it just goes so fast. Honestly, it goes so fast. And
is the Premier League change? I remember that I was doing your game. it feels, it was sort of when you come out the pitch, I can't remember who the game was against, your first goal, you'll remember it, great finish.
Arsenal.
Arsenal was Arsenal, of course it was. I was doing the game. You ran off, you had, the skinhead at the time. But it has, the game feels a bit like it's changing in terms of how quick it's getting, in terms of more obviously set pieces have been a big part for Arsenal, but it feels like it's going back to how it used to be sort of 20 years ago, where teams have been working on second balls more and it's not so much playing out from the back. Is that a fair assessment? Are you noticing that this year?
Yeah, definitely. I think you're noticing every team you face now is they're trying to maximise the most they can out of set pieces, like throw-ins, corners, restarts, quick free kicks. You've got to be so, like, we nearly got done with Bournemouth on the weekend. Quick free kick, they stop, bang, ball over the top, Brooks put one wide. It's like
you get your goal from that as well.
Yeah. Everyone's trying to gain a quick advantage now, and you have to be switched on at every second because teams have quality. And you, like you said, now you notice it. Second balls, duels, battles, everyone's so strong, so physical.
1v1s in terms of marking, you know what I mean? But who's the toughest opponent? Who do you find, I know you don't want to give too much away, but if you said there's one player that, oh God, I'm playing against him today, I've got to be bang on it.
Right now, in the Prem?
Yeah, or ever. Who's been the toughest opponent? Who's, anyone taught you a lesson that that's the level I've got to get to?
I remember playing against David Silva at Etihad, one of my first games for West Ham. That was tough. That was really tough. But that was my first eye-opener to like the Premier League.
Yeah,
and we get spoken about David Silva.
Yeah.
And we was playing a back five, and I was actually the right side of a three, and he was like the left eight. And you just didn't know whether to go into him, whether to stay.
He was
just so smart, and I was just like, well, how can you be that intelligent?
How do I get to that level?
Hazard, when I played against Hazard, he was just... I would put him up there with one of the best. I think now, obviously, great midfield battles that I love playing against. Everyone talks about it all the time. Caicedo, he's obviously
good,
unbelievable midfielder at Chelsea. His consistency that he's shown from Brighton to now, another £100 million player is incredible. Gravenberch for Liverpool,
and obviously Liverpool. You know, tomorrow that's going to be
massive game,
midfield
massive battle. There's so many good players now that you play against. It's not just one or two. Obviously, I've just named them two, but every week, Hoyes is a different challenge. And I think that's the good thing about the Premier League. You're testing yourself against the best every week.
And the Liverpool game, obviously, big game, big occasion, crowd behind you. How important is it you keep that home form, because the crowd feel like they're with you all the way at the moment?
Yeah, it's massive game. We need the Emirates again to be on it. Like you said, we know we're unbeaten at home. We need to go out there and give it everything we've got. You know, the energy needs to be right. We need to transmit that energy on the pitch, give them the right reason to cheer and to push us on. So yeah, it's another massive game, but it's one at a time. You know, it's just another one down at the Christmas schedule, and hopefully we can get another win and keep pushing on.
Nice one, mate. Well, listen, thank you for your time.
Top man.
Keep your form up. And then when the summer gets a bit... We'll get the golf clubs out. We'll get the golf. We've not even spoken about golf. There's too much going on. Well done, Dave.
Thanks,
so pleased you're doing
Top
well.
Man.
Again, a very interesting balancing act of, do you want that one player who might carry you over the line and deliver that Premier League title, or do you want to potentially risk just upsetting the apple cart a little bit?
It's felt like in recent transfer windows that Arsenal have risked upsetting the apple cart when you consider the players they brought in when they've been in a position of strength. You go back to signing David Raya when Aaron Ramsdale had a really good season for Arsenal. And in the summer, I think they surprised us with what they did in the defensive areas when they brought in Christian Mosquera and Piero Hincapié. But it's paid off because Arsenal have suffered with injuries. They've had 127 injury-related player appearances missed this season. 18 players have missed at least one Premier League match. So I think if they see a market opportunity, they see a player that ideally they were looking at for the summer and getting in January, then they'll try and do it. But I would be surprised if they look to do anything in this transfer window, especially with players like Gabriel Jesus, Kai Havertz returning from injury. It feels like the strongest squad in the Premier League right now. But Arsenal have shown time and time again, even whilst they look strong on paper, whilst they've got players in every single position of the pitch, 2 players in every single position of the pitch, if they see someone they think can help them towards this first Premier League title since 2004, then they will look to do something.
Whilst we have seen injuries at Arsenal giving opportunities to others this season, not necessarily Ethan Nwaneri, just 6 sub-appearances in the Premier League. So what might this month hold for him?
I honestly don't think he'll end up going anywhere, because Mikel Arteta will be saying to everyone, I don't want to lose any players. this represents my best ever opportunity to win a Premier League title. We have on paper the strongest squad in the Premier League. We've got a little bit of daylight between us and Manchester City at the moment. And any injuries that occur in the second phase of the season, when you are into the latter stages of cup competitions and you are in the business end of the season, the last thing you want to do is loan someone out who it might be right for Ethan Nwaneri to go and get game time, but what happens if they suffer a couple of injuries and suddenly they're down to the bare bones in a position and they think, well, we shouldn't have let him go on loan. Yes, it was the right thing to do for the player, but was it the right thing to do for Arsenal Football Club? And right now he'll be saying, I don't want anyone to leave the building because the players that are here understand what we're about, understand the philosophy. I don't have to re-coach anyone that comes in. I don't have to worry. Just keep it as it is. If we can add to it, fine. But they won't want to risk upsetting what they've got. And that's a really talented squad that is capable now, it feels like, at the halfway stage of the Premier League campaign to get the job done. If the first half of the season is replicated, Arsenal are going to be Premier League champions.
North London. Arsenal's squad depth is a particular strength of theirs this season, but will there be any room for activity in the transfer window? Mikel Arteta not ruling it out.
We are open to every option. Obviously, we can find a solution that is short, medium, and long. It's always much better because it gives you stability and you don't have to constantly start a process with a new player. But let's see what happens. Let's see what the news are in the next few weeks, and we will try to make the right decision.
On potential outs, I know you've been asked this question before. Ethan Nwaneri hasn't actually played since the Bruges game. Wasn't in the squad at all against Aston Villa. What's your thinking with him? Would you maybe consider a departure for him on loan, perhaps, just so he can get first-team football?
That every player is very important. Every player has a role. That role can change throughout the season for different reasons, and everybody has to be ready to play. That's it.
Rob Earnshaw, if you were Mikel Arteta, would you try and reinforce even more from this point or not want to disrupt what's already been working very well?
I think he's got an unbelievable squad right now. I think only if something comes up that, for example, something that he's going to see in the next 6 months fits him for the next year and a half for Arsenal. I don't think that's out there right now, to be honest. But they will have those conversations and they will look. But right now he's got an excellent squad. Yes, there's been a couple of injuries here and there, but that's why they did the business last year. And I think they were brilliant at doing all the business. Defensively sound. Eze came in. Gyökeres came in. And I think they took care of some positions that they really needed to. But then Gabriel Jesus is just come back. Kai Havertz is not far away. And the midfield is stacked. I mean, you look at Marino, Ødegaard, Eze can play in there, Rice. So whoever's playing, not playing, they've got a strong squad.
Yeah, and some are saying, James, many are saying that it's Arsenal's strongest squad in Premier League history, covering every position, as Rob has just mentioned there, but limited chances for brilliant young talent like Ethan Nwaneri.
I've got a feeling that might have been the question that we could clearly hear asked to Mikel Arteta that we were trying to guess about. Look, I think this is a question that Mikel Arteta is going to have throughout January, is the future of Ethan Nwaneri. This youngster, 18 years old, signed a long-term contract in the summer until 2030. But he's really struggled for game time. I think he started just twice in the Premier League this year against Nottingham Forest and Leeds United. Full of talent, 18 years old, but if he plays on the right, he's probably behind Bukayo Saka and Noni Madueke now. If he plays in the middle, he's behind Martin Ødegaard and Eberechi Eze now. His game time's really limited at the moment. Now, I think that might be one to watch this window. Arsenal got a very busy January. 9 games they played. They've got Carabao Cup ties with Chelsea, Portsmouth in the FA Cup, a couple of Champions League games, plus their Premier League outings. By the end of January, have a see where the squad's at. But he may well be surplus to requirements this year and this season. And it might be better for him to go out on loan for the remainder of the season. You want these players to get the game time. You don't want to stagnate their progression. And Ethan Nwaneri needs to be playing football. But, yeah, time will tell whether Arteta...
I'm a big fan of Nwaneri. I think
Great player.
I think he's unbelievable. I think he's brilliant. And what I love about him is his attitude. He always generally makes a big impact in every single game that he's put on. This is a Premier League player. If anything, some of the other Premier League clubs, I would be looking at him and thinking he's going to add to our squad.
Maybe if you're Arsenal, you'd have a recallable loan situation.
Possibly, yeah. I mean, to be honest, do they even care about that right now? Because even if they did, You got Madueke, you got Saka, you got Trossard, Martinelli. There's so many in those positions. That's why he hasn't played game time. But he's a top player. For me, if I'm a Premier League team, I'm looking at somebody like that and saying he's going to come and impact us.